Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So, spoiler season is not here. Thankfully, I do not have the strength right now. I have not built that back up for another spoiler season. I need to probably go into hibernation for a bit before actually really jumping into actual spoiler season. But we did get some previews yesterday. Got a couple of things going on right now, so I don't have too much time, so I couldn't actually do a quick take on every single one of these, but I decided to do a quick episode just highlighting 3 of the cards from yesterday's early preview, I think they called it, for Ravnica Murders at Karlov Manor. I think I got all that right. Regardless, with all that said, let's jump into some of the spoilers. So, first up, we've got Alquist Proft, Master Sleuth. Now, let me know in the comments below. I don't believe we've ever seen this actual person in Magic. I could be very wrong. I've also seen some rumors out there that this is somehow Lazav, too. So, we never know. Who knows? Anyways, a 3/3 human detective with vigilance for 1 white and a blue. When it enters the battlefield, investigate. So again, that means make a clue token, which you can sacrifice for 2 to draw a card. But you're not going to be doing that, most likely, because you're going to be paying X, white, blue, blue, tap, sacrificing a clue. You draw X cards and gain X life. So it's kind of like a Sphinx's Revelation, essentially, but on a commander activation working with clues. So that actually is really spicy. I mean, this has a good amount of potential to draw an absurd amount of cards. Of course, you can utilize a lot of ways to take advantage of that, like, I don't know, like Thought Reflection, Fairy's Aegis Insight. Those cards seem to come up every single spoiler season because Wizards keeps printing commanders that draw cards, so yeah, doubling up the card draw that you have can be fantastic. Also, I mean, like a Psychosis Crawler could be one too. Being able to take advantage of the cards that you are drawing, draining your opponents, that could definitely be a win condition for this commander. Obviously, with this kind of a commander, you're going to want, well, a good amount of ramp by getting a ton of mana rocks in play, especially ones like, Everflowing Chalice that might be flexible, that can, go early game or later game for more mana, or Dreamstone Hedron, ones that can produce a good amount of mana for you. You can dump a bunch into that. And also, maybe some untap effects like a Dramatic Reversal could be fantastic with this because, well, you untap not only all your mana rocks, you can utilize them again, but also you can untap this commander to utilize it again. So I can definitely see, I wouldn't say necessarily, I mean, obviously you could do combo potential if you want, but certain synergies that can be very powerful, those untap effects, some mass untap effects that can be very, 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 very potent with this kind of a commander. Yeah, I mean, other kinds of cards you obviously want to consider are ones that do make clues. Trail of Mystery, something like that, is an enchantment that whenever you cast Instant Sorcery, you make a clue. So I can see cards like that that can produce clues over time, or just kind of these one-off effects. Obviously, even just with this ETB, you can make more and more clues. So you've got blue and white. Both are great colors when it comes to blinking cards. So yeah, utilize blink spells as well to maybe save your team and also to use and abuse this ETB. Yeah, I can definitely see this commander being decently popular. Players love drawing cards. Players also like when, I'm not going to say that clues are underutilized when it comes to commanders. There are certain commanders that do make clues. That being said, this is one that utilizes clues, I think, to the fullest, so you can do some pretty exciting things with that. So yeah, overall, I think a very interesting commander, one that can definitely be pretty splashy, one that has some power potential, of course. Again, a repeatable Sphinx's Revelation is definitely quite a powerful thing. So yeah, this is a commander that I think has a good amount of potential, pretty exciting. And yeah, let me know in the comments below. I don't know if we've seen this character in Magic before, maybe in the lore, but I don't think we've had a card on Alquist Proft, but I could be very wrong on that. Regardless, let's move on to a character we have seen before. Aurelia is back with the Law Above, and every time I read that, I go, above the law is what my brain goes, but no, a law above, the law above. There we go. A 4/4 angel with flying vigilance and haste for 3 red and a white, so a Boros commander. Whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, you draw a card. Whenever a player attacks with 5 or more creatures, Aurelia the Law Above deals 3 damage to each of your opponents and you gain 3 life. This is a pretty spicy commander. Again, years ago, right before like Firesong and Sunspeaker, we didn't have like any, I'm not going to say any viable Boros commanders, but any ones that were really all that impactful. This one is pretty impactful, and again, shows just how things have changed over the years, and that Wizards finally is like, hey, other colors can get draw too. I mean, when I say other colors, it's like red and white typically didn't get like any kind of a card draw. This one says, you know what? No, I mean, this not only counts whenever you're attacking, but any player attacking. Again, if you're being aggressive, great, and you're going to be aggressive with this commander. Again, flying, vigilance, haste, you have no reason not to attack. Again, you're going to be able to get through on an opponent, most likely that flying. Vigilance, you can stay back for blocks as well. Haste, swing right away. So as long as you have 2 or more creatures outside of this one, 2 more other creatures outside of this one attacking, you get that benefit, drawing cards, which is fantastic. And also, again, if you're attacking with even more creatures, you're punishing your opponents. Again, 3 damage each your opponents, gain 3 life. Of course, you can utilize ways to take advantage of, well, that damage to your opponents by, maybe doubling it or tripling it with some crazy things like City on Fire. And of course, ways to take advantage of gaining life as well. Oh goodness, now I'm actually not Well of Lost Dreams. Is that one it? When you pay X mana essentially to draw that many cards based on the amount of life that you gain. Whatever that one is. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely draw even more cards. Of course, there's other ways to take advantage of gaining life as well. That being said, yeah, a very interesting commander. One that, of course, wants you to be aggressive, but also benefits you for your opponents being aggressive. If they're attacking again, they've got to keep in mind that if they're swinging at 3 creatures, no matter who they're swinging at, again, it doesn't say like attacks you are going to be drawing a card. They attack with 5, yeah, that's going to be punishing your opponents, and then you get to gain life. It also can be pretty funny, I'm sure, like end of game, when some of your opponents might be really low on life. Like if you've got an opponent like is a pretty big threat and they're taken down to like 3, and you've got another opponent that might not be able to get through on them, essentially, maybe they've got a lot of defenses up, but they've got 5 creatures they can swing with, swing at that player, and then all of a sudden that player is taken out before combat even really happens because they're given 3 damage essentially and taken out. So there could be some interesting circumstances. Just, encouraging players to attack, potentially utilizing things like a Crow and Horse to get more and more creatures out there for everyone. There's plenty of cards, not plenty of cards, like there's a decent amount, like Lightning Rage or that kind of thing as well. So yeah, ways to give others creatures, ways to force combat, ways to be aggressive, ways to goad, of course, can really help out as well. Yeah, a very interesting commander, a new take on Aurelia that I really like. Yeah, just overall a very fun one. And then finally, and I'm not sure why, unfortunately, the actual original image of this is not up like the regular image, I should say, but this actually does showcase some different kind of art as well. So here's Rakdos, Patron of Chaos. A pretty cool design. It's kind of like, like a detective file, it seems like. So that's pretty cool, actually, on the way this is templated. A 6/6 Ledge Creature Demon for 6 mana in total, and Rakdos, Flying Trample, of course, Flample Rakdos. At the beginning of your end step, target opponent may sacrifice 2 non-land, non-token permanents. If they don't, you draw 2 cards. I do like that they are starting to specify non-token because, hey, that's just an easy kind of like creature fodder or like, treasure fodder, clue fodder. Players can just be like, oh yeah, I don't have to sacrifice anything really of value. Not that those cards don't have value, but typically your non-token permanents are going to have more value than your token permanent. So making them actually sacrifice something of worth is actually a decision they have to make. And again, 2 cards is a good amount, so forcing your opponent to have to sacrifice some things, and if they don't, you're drawing some cards, great. You can have this discussion ahead of time, of course, with opponents. Be like, hey, are you going to sacrifice things? Or just actually make sure you're picking the opponent that you don't think will do it. If you really want the cards, or if you're like, hey, that player, I'm okay if they're sacrificing things because I want to get rid of some of their things, and if not, I'll just draw the 2 cards as well. Of course, you got some ways you can take advantage of the card draw too in these colors. And yeah, having a 6/6 Flampler is nothing to, nothing to shake your head at, I guess is probably the phrase I was going for, but I slipped up there. Anyways, being able to take advantage of card draw, being able to take advantage of sacrifice effects. I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, Turgid is something you could include in a deck like this, even though I very much dislike Turgid. Sorry, Turgid. Or It That Betrays, a much more fair version of Turgid. But essentially, yeah, I mean, either incentivizing your opponents not to sacrifice things, or if they do, getting a massive benefit out of that. Of course, utilizing other edict effects can be great as well. A lot of other control elements. And giving a 6/6 Flampler, you can definitely get in some, commander damage KOs with this as well. You're in red, so you've got plenty of ways to give this double strike, ways to double up power too. And of course, even if you just get 1 extra power on this, that is a 3-shot KO on any opponent versus a 4-shot KO. So yeah, just some little tweaks to this can actually make it much more easy to take your opponents out in that fashion. So yeah, an interesting commander as well. I think overall, if I had to say like, what the most innovative commander out of all these is so far, I'd probably say Aurelia, actually. Like, I do like the direction of this for Boros. It's like, hey, encourage combat, but also you benefit and punish through combat too. And it's not just you attacking, it's also opponents attacking too. So it's got a lot of different lanes that you can take that. Although I do also think that Alquist Proft is a pretty interesting commander as well. Again, utilizing clues to the fullest and just saying, yeah, I'm not just going to draw 1, I'm going to draw an absurd amount, and then maybe untap it and all my mana rocks, and then do it again and again. And yeah, that can maybe lead to a very long turn that your opponents might not like. So make sure you're being careful, I guess, especially when building around this one, because yeah, this can get pretty brutal, I guess, in quite a short amount of time. So yeah, let me know in the comments what your favorite is out of all these, though. What do you think about these brand new spoilers? Again, I'm sorry that I didn't have enough time to do a full quick take on each one of them, but yeah, life happens, and, you know, make do with what you got. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on these. And, of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.